Hey guys, Sean Zine, the Connection Machine, also the host for the Network Marketing Insider, where I bring on guests that are involved in network, affiliate, and also school owners and affiliates that are dropping some value, teaching, educating, giving you ideas to help you be more successful. I know a lot of you start schools and then you quit too early. You don't see it through. And that's what I started changing and pivoting and sharing how to help others improve their school to make them more successful at the long haul. And without further ado, I brought on and I have a guest that's going to give you massive value. If you're watching us on the website, don't forget, or the YouTube channel, hit subscribe, like, comment, and share the video. If you're on the audio, please give us a review at the end and go to the description. Without further ado, let me bring on Ryan Duncan. What's up, Ryan? How are you?
There we go. I'm on.
Here we are.
I'm on the screen. I'm doing well, man. How are you? Are you doing well?
I'm doing fantastic. I always enjoy these types of chats. A lot of people are afraid of, doing podcasting, video collaborations, putting themselves out there. They get scared. They have the fear. But I found it changes people, and it's for the better. It'll help people long haul, the ones that are taking the leap and getting and I always challenge them, get on video, get on and share it, because everyone has the knowledge, but everyone's afraid of it. I always ask my guests, who are you? And this is something I always ask, why did you get involved with Skool? But if you don't know who Ryan Duncan is, he's on the top of the leaderboard of schoolers. We have him right here. We can pick his brain a little bit. Ryan, all yours. Who are you?
Who am I? My name is Ryan Duncan. I am 26. I had to think there for a second. I forgot how old I was. That's who I am. I'm Ryan Duncan and I am 26. And the other side of outside of my personal life, I think the only identity I have is I spend way too much time on Skool.
How long have you been on Skool? Are you like one of the beginners, the founders? Like, what tell us about that?
I've been on Skool since 2024, January 19th, I think was my first day, like when I created my account. But I wasn't active properly. I was kind of dabbling in it, seeing, well, what's this? And is this something that I want to do and be a part of? And so I started properly in about March, April, I think of 2024. That's when I got in. And I was pretty much just on before the famous Alex Hormozy photo happened, where he was like, Skool, I'm doing this thing with my brand. I was like, I should probably put my time and attention into this, because if Hormozy puts his name and face towards something, then it's usually a pretty reputable thing. It's not something he's going to just bow out of straight away. This isn't some fad or some, next thing that you sign up for. Which is pretty good, yeah.
No, that's excellent. I've been on since July 18th of 2025, last year, almost a year, actually very close to a year, which is pretty awesome. And I enjoy it. Like, I like being on it. It's the platform that is different. That's when people first come in, right, from Facebook, from Instagram, from LinkedIn, they're always throwing things with the algorithm. That's why they kind of get, I don't know what to do in here. What are some skills or some ideas to help those that are just starting to kind of understand the platform better? Because when they come in, I found I have to train them. And that's why I like collaborating with other schoolers, because they already know how it works. But if you were to have 3 tips of what they should be doing when they first come into school, what do you think that should be?
It's interesting you say that you have to train them, because if that person came over to your house for some coffee and just to talk about their idea or their business, would you have to train them how to talk to you then? Probably not. Right? So just be the same person when you're in your school. Learn to just, talk how you would talk in person inside of the community or online on the platform. You can be yourself. I feel like a lot of people think that you have to write in capital letters and title and hook and intro post and format, but you can just, if you learn to be yourself, and that's kind of why I was able to get, somewhat popular in the Skool community, was because I was, wholly and solely myself in being a great member, which is just basically being who I would be if I stepped into a room with 10 other people and was hanging out. You know, some people like me, some people don't like me. It is what it is, you know? So like that is kind of the vibe that you have to have. You have to be yourself. You can't put on this facade. And I think the first time when I stepped into Skool, I said to myself, I'm not going to be a chameleon and feel like I have to copy and follow everyone else. Because I'd done that before. I always look to people and go, I should do that person's morning routine. I should do that person as a business. I should act a certain way. And I have to remind myself, and my partner reminds myself of that quite often. But I think that the biggest lesson, if you could do anything, is number one, be yourself. I know a lot of people say that, but in the analogy of, well, I would never write this or say this to someone in person, so then why are you putting it on the internet? So I would just do number one.
I like that. Yeah. Being a great member is important, and being yourself is key, because like you were saying, you have to be yourself. Otherwise, you're a fake, you're a phony, you're a scam. And that's why a lot of people are always trying to, when they start a school, for example, they're all about doing the classroom. But it's not about the classroom. They're all about, I need to put all my knowledge in the courses and all this, and they have these prices for the courses. And then they're like, nobody's buying the courses. I said, well, are you marketing? They're like, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, that's where there's skills involved in what we're doing online. You have to do things to make that happen. Now, being a better member or a great member, how did you figure out Skoolers? Because a lot of people, when they come into Skoolers, when they're an owner of a school, guys, you can go into Skoolers. It's a big group that has 190,000 members now because of all the groups being built. But there's kind of rules inside, right? And some people, when they start coming in, they start popping some marketing inside of the Skoolers, come to my community, and they're promoting themselves. They're self-serving, they're self-promoting, and they get kicked out and they get frustrated. How did you learn how to do it right inside? Were you more of the commenter or more of the poster?
I started as a commenter, and because I've been around for a while, before I joined, you know, it was somewhat clinical in how it was put together. And then it was myself, Goose, a lady named Jade Gemma, Sarah Hankins. You've probably seen these people around. I don't know if Jenna was there like at that same time, but Evelyn was in there as well. Like, I'm the reason Evelyn uses GIFs now. She always thought they were silly and weird. And so like during that period, there was schools like the Wild Wild West. I'd post 3 times a day and it didn't matter. I could post whatever I wanted, but I never self-promoted. I knew how to keep myself relevant in there, and I was the first commenter on every post of all time. I mean, like literally every post, I was the first commenter on it. And every comment underneath was Ryan's commented. Like, I did everything. And so most of the rules, like a good chunk of them, are probably there because of stuff that I had done. I upset the school team a lot, you know, through my journey, but that's also because I was finding the line of like what was okay and what wasn't okay, because the school team were learning and figuring out what to do. There wasn't 15 admins and moderators. It was pretty much just, you know, Sam Ovens, and there was 2 communities at the time. It was a school games community and a school community. That's what it used to be called. It wasn't even called Skoolers. So they had separate communities. I was level 8 in school games and level 9 in the school community. And then they merged them. And so they put everyone in the one group. And that was even crazier because they used to have community owners, moderators, and admins all in there. The group used to have like hundreds of thousands of people. And then they cut all those people out and then back and forth. And so I called myself the unofficial moderator, or the moderator who never got paid, because on the weekends there'd be no one around. There was no one around to help out with moderating and reporting stuff and helping these users. And so all I did was I just commented 300, 400 times a day, figuring out the school platform, because that's all I did. I just jumped on and decided to go all in on how do I learn this platform. And so someone would say, the questions and posts that we used to get in there were, how do I invite a member to my community? There's really like basic stuff, but I'd be the first person to respond to it. So I just sit there online all day, just helping people nonstop, even just with technical questions, software questions, how does Skool work? I figured it all out. And if I didn't know something, I looked it up, or I went and figured it out in the tool, and then I commented it. And so it was like, oh my God, this guy's a genius. Like, no, I'm literally just solving problem after problem after problem all day, every day. So I commented and I did that heaps, and that got me like a lot of points, and I started to level up a lot, and I was getting my levels, and I was like, oh, now as soon as I was like, there's a leaderboard, and then I was like, no one's level 9. I was like, oh, I'll go for it now. And then so I did that, and then things really started to pick up and take off and everything. And then, I just went nuts. And then when I started to post, I could get more likes and different things for the account. So yeah, it was just a big journey, but primarily commenting was the big one. And then your own posts definitely helped a lot too.
Guys, did you hear that? Over 300 comments in a day. And people are like, wait a minute, how do I do it? Are you spending like early on, maybe not right now, early on, were you on like for 12 hours a day to comment 300
It was about
times?
16.
Mm-hmm.
16 hours. Yeah. But my activities a day were at some points were averaging like 400 to 600 a day activities for 6 months straight. Like I didn't miss a day. I had the fire emoji, I had all of it. But yeah, it was about 16 hours a day. Like I was online just nonstop. Basically
Now,
like reloading Skool. It's crazy.
That fire emoji, I'm glad you brought that up. And you had all those activities. How many times have you lost it?
The fire?
Yeah.
Well, I had a perfect streak. I did have a full green activity map at one point. And then I don't even know what happened. I just lost it. And I was like, I don't really care about this thing anymore. And then I was somewhat active, not active, just whatever. I just was less active on Skool, just focusing on more client stuff and not too much activity. I was just, after doing it for a year and a half or 2 years of doing big activity days every day, you kind of get over it after a while. And then, so I got it back once, and then I had like just one little small dot for a bit. And then my activity chart kind of just went a little bit, fluid. And then I was taking Sundays off for a point. But now I'm like just active every day just because I feel like I want a bit more of a different mission with it all. So I'm just naturally active all the time again, and just enjoying doing things every day on Skool again, which is really fun. And so I think I'm about to get it again. I think I'm very close. Only a couple more days to. Yeah, I should have the fire emoji in a day or two, I think.
Guys,
but it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. I know I almost have had it for a year straight. I know Calvin Hollywood's had it over 2.5. He might be almost 3 years.
Yeah.
But it, like Ryan was just saying, it gets to a point. He had the points that he was off and on. He was serving his clients. But I want people to understand, you are creating a habit. It's like a discipline. You love coming into Skool. You love connecting with other people, meeting others, going on their journey, helping. So it's not like, oh, I got to go on Skool today. It is something that it's a daily discipline, a daily initiative that you do, which is powerful, that people have to understand. It takes work. It's a network we're building. It's our own. It's an asset. I think everyone builds their own asset. You have your communities, you have an email list, you have your blog, you have a podcast, you have things that you own. Stop thinking about it as it's not going to be work. It takes time. No matter what, it takes time. Now, I know you've been on the Skool games. You've won it 7 times.
Yeah, with clients, like I've won it myself personally, and then the other like 6 times, or like we've done it heaps of times with clients, but like those clients we were like very like specifically like a part of like winning with them.
So you coach other schoolers to become a winner.
There's more done for you.
Okay.
Yeah, now, done for you wins. Yeah.
Are there any categories that are easier to win, you think, in your opinion, and no, we're not holding you to it, to win the school games? I know money is difficult. There's a person that's almost making $1 million a month. And if you're just starting out, how are you going to get there? But
well, there's no more school games, so it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter, right? Because it's just a percentage of the MRR.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you can't win that trophy anymore. You just go to 100K a month because like we're not doing the school games anymore. They've got the new school games, but there's no quarterly win and stuff anymore. And I wouldn't say anything is necessarily harder because it has been proven that it can work. I think that you just have to be committed to it. Yeah, sure, maybe something will take longer. Maybe it is a bit more difficult in a hobby or spirituality type niche to get those people to spend, but they can spend and they can achieve those financial outputs in their life. Naturally, a return on investment offer is probably going to work a little bit more, but you are also competing against the next guy that's also competitive and wants to grow and scale his business. So theoretically, it's easier to sell an ROI offer, but then you're competing against guys who want to destroy you. So like, whereas if you take business knowledge but go to hobby, it's like, sure, the customers don't buy as much, but at the end of the day, I think it's business. And so, business is just inherently a difficult thing to do in the first place. So picking your extra poison for it, it's like, doesn't really matter. I think if you love what you do and you're committed to it, and what you choose to build a community around should be built around, I could talk to these people every single day about this thing. Awesome. Then I'm sure you'll make money.
Now, do you think that a lot of people have to do paid advertising versus organic? Do you think there's going to be organic's going to be very, very difficult, or you're going to have a huge following to get to that level? Or is it something that most people should be doing paid advertising? Do you think or a mixture of the two?
I feel like it really depends on who you're talking to. I think that my current philosophy on growing online and the things that you should somewhat care about is building as many connection points to other human beings as possible through comments or through organic, right? Like how can you, like, an opportunity like this pops up to hop on a podcast, and I think it's not even caring about whether or not that podcast has big views. I get to make one connection with yourself, Sean, today, and get to, I know you're interviewing me and it's my story that's being shared and my advice, but we make some level of connection today. And then as a byproduct of that, whoever is listening to this is also hearing what I'm saying. And so this is highly beneficial for me, even if one person extra from this conversation, but even just ourselves having a conversation, is very beneficial. And so I was thinking about it as we were talking about it earlier. I was like, the thing that, going back to those comments, every comment I was making is, you're seeing those assets, but you didn't mention you mentioned email list and all of these things, but you didn't mention the biggest asset is just having a connection point to another human being and creating as many of those as possible, rather than it being through an email list. If you focus on how can I just connect with more people through these different lenses, make that the overarching part, and then those be the vehicles in which you do it. I would say that you just want to optimize for that. And so organic should be something that you do. And at the moment, I'm doing it on a daily basis. I'm making a YouTube video every single day, doing a daily update, telling people about my growth, where I'm going, how I'm doing it. I got asked a question by Calvin Hollywood today, is how long are you going to do this format? It doesn't seem like it's working. Like, I've been doing it for 2 weeks. And I said it in the video I did today. Skool didn't work for me for almost 6 months. Hey, yes. If I had to quit that in 2 weeks, where would I be? And so I think organic is the thing that you have to keep a pulse on, because you need, in today's day and age, you need to have the attention of other people. you need to be building connections with other people as much as humanly possible within the confines of, health, wealth, and relationships. Those are the three biggest pinnacles to make sure in your life you do keep integrated, but also balanced to some degree. And organic is just number one. I think it's the thing that you can just show up for and you can start doing today. So you might as well do that first. Because paid ads sometimes does require you to have, paid ads does require you to have capital to invest in order to make that work. It's an extra skill you have to learn, and it isn't required in order to make money. But I think making connection points with other people through any organic means, messaging, commenting, posting content yourself, connecting with other people in person, whatever that might be, those should be things that you focus on a very much like daily basis, especially now. Like, that's crucial. So paid ads isn't needed. It's a bonus, but organic should always be your number one focus. If we're, do you need it? No, if you've got money to spend on ads and you know what you're doing.
No, I love that. And I agree. And I want to make a point. Ryan said he was getting something out of this podcast as well. And he made a point too. A lot of people are always asking about, how big is the podcast? You have a lot of views. Mine's brand like 3 years old. But it doesn't hurt to ask people, because what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Ryan, I asked Ryan, would you be on my podcast? And he's like, sure, send me your list and let me see what you have as far as an episode, take a look at to make a decision. And I said, sure. And I sent it my playlist. He looked at it. He said, sure, let's get on it. And we set up a StreamYard. A lot of people will say, oh, Ryan's too busy. Oh, Ryan won't take the time. Ryan won't connect with me. But all I did was, Ryan, would you be on a podcast with me, provide some value? And you said yes. And that's how it's all about connecting and taking chances. You shoot your shot. Some people are always like, I wish I could have. I don't want to live that way. I want to be able to meet other people, because this is just about, it's helping others, but it's also me learning from you, and you can learn from me a little bit from the past and who I've interviewed and brought together. But it's all about connecting, providing value. And I love how you're saying just commenting. Yes, the more you comment, the more you're going to build your own little brand inside of Skool. And then someone will say, I need to learn more about Ryan, because I don't know who Ryan is. Click on your profile, and hopefully you have something that's directs them to learn more about you. And then they might join your community, set up a call with you, be on a podcast. So it's very powerful. Talk about the YouTube channel. I think did you start on fresh one and you're starting new and you're road to, you're sharing your journey. Is that what you're doing now?
No, not starting new. I had a new channel, which I did start for school-based content, started that, and then I made some videos and content that went somewhat viral in the industry, got me a lot of subscribers, and then I was just honestly on and off with it because I didn't know what content I should make, and I was overthinking it and being in, this isn't perfect enough, or this isn't going to work, or we all experience those thoughts when we're creating content. And then I started live streaming and creating content and clipping it and putting it together, and I was enjoying that for a bit, and then I feel like I just kind of got out of whack with it. And then I had done daily updates before on a different channel, and those were really fun and cool. And so I kind of woke up on July 1st, didn't know it was July 1st. I was like, so I should do daily updates. Oh, it's July 1st today. Awesome. This is a great time to start. I was like, let me get onto this. Let me start this process again and do daily updates. And then I've kind of made my own little format where I do a bit more of a vlog style, take my camera around the house, sit in different locations. And I'm planning on making it more and more into a vlog, just trying different things, shooting content every day, talking about business, connecting with my community members on YouTube, because I get them to ask questions and I respond to those questions every single day. And I answer the questions. I show the source in public. The source is our community name I've got with Jeff Lopez. And then I go through the growth stats. Where am I at and how am I growing it? And I've done that every day for the last 14 days. And my members in my community, I can't keep up. You're too consistent. And so this is the first time that I've been consistent on trying to be consistent when it comes to creating content. And so I'm locked in until the end of the year. That's what I've said. I'm just going to do that every day for my content, see how I go, iterate it, make it that 1% better every single day. And that's on my channel with 9,200 and I think it's 18 subscribers or something at the moment. Yeah.
Now, your daily updates, are you focused on a certain time frame as far as, are you going for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour, hours? Some people are like, I'm afraid of video. I like doing shorts because you could do under 60 seconds. I found the sweet spots are usually in that 3 to 5 minute range, but do you think there's a level you should be at on a consistent basis? Is that what you're trying to do? Is there a time that you're looking to hit, or just whatever's in your thoughts, just getting it out? If it took an hour, it took an hour.
Yeah, if it takes an hour, it takes an hour. I think that the way it works is if people ask questions today, I answer them tomorrow so they come back. So I'm getting repeat people to come back, especially the ones that ask the questions. So that really helps. And then every now and then I see I'm looking for like a new person to ask a question. By getting repeat questions from the same people, awesome. Love that. You need your true supporters, but I want new people. So I'm working on getting that comments to kind of start the snowball. So I can't keep up with it. So I've got more questions. At the moment, I'm finishing all of my questions every day, which is fun. And then sometimes I have something to share. Sometimes I don't. So today I spoke about the new leaderboards with the Skool games and how all of that looks and what's the goal and what's the plan. And so I think today's video was 20 minutes, potentially 10 or 20 minutes. And so roughly they're around that mark every day.
I want to end our episode. I know I'm all about timing and making sure we're cognizant and we're present. I want to have you give us just a snapshot. What does it look like, maybe like yesterday, for Ryan Duncan? What's your day like? When you wake up in the morning, are you an early riser to when you go to bed at night? What does it look like? Are you on your phone? Are you on your laptop? Just a little snapshot of what your day of yesterday was.
My days are somewhat the same. We just got a new puppy, so it's a little bit earlier than usual. It's the unsolicited alarm clock. I have for the last, I think, year and a half not woken up to an alarm at all. I'm very big on that. I think just go to bed whenever you fucking feel like it and wake up when you feel like it. For those that run their own business, for me, I like that. I wake up 8 a.m., 9 a.m. at the moment. That's my time. I usually get up at like 2. That was horrible. But yeah, around 8, 9, wake up, try to get some sunlight outside, walk around a bit, try to stay off my phone as well. Sometimes usually if I wake up, like in my phone's in the bedroom, if I haven't left it out, I'll click straight to Skool notifications and I scroll and I just look for something that intrigues me, which can be a message from someone cool on Skool or someone around. Maybe I do that. But I usually will do that, wake up, try and have breakfast every day and then have a coffee. And then I like to sit down for a 4-hour work day. I basically tell myself I only work 4 hours a day. And in that 4 hours, I will do my daily update first, because getting that video done is like eating the frog sometimes. Some days I wake up and I go, I can't believe I committed to this. Like, it's the only thing in this business that I'm like, oh, but I do enjoy doing it once I hit record. It's the getting out of bed and getting it done. That part is difficult. It's like going to the gym. So I'll do that. And then my other non-negotiable every day is just to make sure I go through my notifications and my DMs and respond to everything. So make sure all of that is finished. And comment wherever I can, respond in a responsive, like reactive state. So what do I need to respond to and get done? And then I'll go through a level of client delivery, make sure that my clients are attended to. So maybe if I'm running ads for a client, or I have some like done for you work that I need to do, solving churn, solving retention, conversion rates, whatever it might be. I'll do that. And then I basically just get up and go for a walk. I'll do that throughout working as well. I'll go for walks I'm pretty big on making sure I don't kill my back with bad posture in a desk. And then after that, I was going for beach walks every single day until I put a rusty nail through the bottom of my heel, which has stopped me from doing that. But I like to get outside, go for a walk. I'll have lunch with my fiance, and then I kind of just chill in the afternoons. Just chill, just kind of do whatever. Like I'll plod around, do some work, respond to a message, do that. The other thing that I like to do on my work days is just solve friction points. So during that work, this was really annoying. This took too long. How can I make that process better? Like I write it down and then I'll go through and think through how can I make this, and then I'll spend some time solving that so it's faster for tomorrow. It's always making tomorrow easier. I find that's a big part of the day. Then I just chill, and then usually like at nighttime, like around now, like I'm on calls. So, I've got a podcast, I've got Skool news, because Skool news is in 3 hours. So it's like midnight for Skool news. I'll speak to my business partner, Jeff. And then sometimes I just watch like interior design videos or something. Yeah. Because like genuinely, I don't think that you have to spend 8 hours a day on this type of business. There are groups and communities and stuff that I've seen that you really can run this with spending time on your content, and running your community does not need to take that long. And then other than that, once you've kind of got things set up and ready to go, like I think it's good. It's why we built it, right? We don't live to work, we work to live. And so I've been focusing a lot on that, especially, this quarter. So yeah, that's pretty much my day. It's pretty chill. It focuses. I've got that pie chart of basically my health, my wealth, and my relationships. And so I know that I have, you can look at it in a daily aspect. This is just good. And I've got more time on this. Like I'm easy, like I said, on the 30 minutes. I think this is valuable for people to know. Mm-hmm. Your day should be structured to hit each of them. And some days it can be imbalanced, meaning that you have to sprint for work. So you focus more on your wealth creation. So you focus on that trajectory. Your relationships, I think it's healthy to connect with your partner at some point during the day. Some days that might be an hour. Some days that might be 5, right? And so you will have those. And then you should also focus on your health, which is literally going outside and getting sunlight for 10 minutes is something to do it, right? Doing that, stretching, opening your shoulders up, laying on the ground with a foam roller underneath you, decompressing your back, hanging off something. Just do something, go shake your body, do 10 star jumps, right? You don't have to kill yourself, but do something to, there's no fucking point in doing any of this if you're not going to be healthy at the end of the day. Yes. And so throughout your day, you want to hit those, but you need to also think, okay, I have been very focused on my wealth at the moment, and my health and relationships are down. And so, well, how do I counterbalance that to maybe at the end of my week when my wealth is a little bit less busy? Okay, I do my date night. So Fridays, I'm doing date night with my partner, or it could be calling a family member. It's all different types of relationships. Like it should be this balanced thing. You may be friends if you're single, whatever it might be. You should put effort into those to take that time off. And so over a week period or over a month, you really want to have that looking very healthy. I focus on my wealth here. I focus more on date night. So like my partner and I, most of last week before she went on a little trip with her best friend was watching shows every night together and having fun and laughing at the show and doing that every night. We spend an hour or 2 hours while we have dinner. And then I go back into work because I've been busy. I've been having to do a lot of work as of late, which is awesome and very rewarding. And so, yeah, you gotta really work on filling that pie chart in different ways. And some days it will be imbalanced, but over a week and over a month, if you can balance it out, I think that you'll be very happy, healthy, wealthy, and ideally in a great relationship.
Wow, I'm glad you dove into that. I'm a full-time teacher. I've been teaching. This is my going to be going into my 25th year,
Nice.
and I'm trying to teach people, like you were saying, I don't want to have the extra jobs to trade my time for money anymore. But
Mm,
online, you can, like you were saying, set things up 4 hours doing content. You can have affiliate links. You can have different things that you're earning money while you're working, while you're not working. And that's the
mm.
power of getting on online, and stop being afraid and just try different things. But man, I appreciate you. Man, lots of great value in here, guys. If you just tuned in now, you're gonna wait into this uploads and get the whole thing from the beginning. We'll have Ryan on it again if you would be able to, and his with his schedule. I want to remind everyone: subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Help someone else that you love get to a higher level. And go to the description, check out Ryan's community, have a call with him, check him out. I know he's a wealth of knowledge. Appreciate taking time today. Ryan, stick around for another moment. Everyone else, we hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
Peace. Make sure you subscribe.